How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Today, we're going to be taking a look at how I was able to get over 32,000 Capital Peak Gold and how you may also be able to potentially get the same. We did it mostly from one raid, so let's dive right in and see what attacks I am using. So here we found a Wizard Valley on the second raid. Believe pretty close to the basic layout. So we're going in with the ground graveyard spam, one of my personal favorite attack strategies, and we're just loading up everything in the core of the base. We have a couple more giants to deploy. We're trying to get them to go onto the left side so that these super wizards have some giants on the right hand side, some on the left hand side, and then we even have a couple of balloons to try and take out this back side, or rather the right side of the base. Now the goal was to take out the spear thrower and then have something go over and take out these buildings, but sort of forgot about those. Those other three balloons were designed to try and take out the wizard tower and the air defense while everything pushes up through the core. But sometimes you have to adapt on the fly and just use the troops that you have and try to get as many defenses destroyed as possible, since the defenses are worth the most amount of points in the raids. And obviously the giant important defenses are worth the most. So here we just send in the balloons. They eventually die out to the air defense, but we get a nice 5,000, almost 500 for that attack. Now let's jump into the remainder of the attacks. They are all in the rest are all in the fourth raid. So here we're doing a first hit on the classic layout of the Skeleton Park. One of my new favorite bases to hit. There's a pretty simple strategy, which is this strategy right here, where it's not a one-shot strategy, but it is a very, very consistent, like 5,750 to sometimes 6,500, depending on the defense levels. But it's pretty simple. You start with the P.E.K.K.A. and a ram to open the first quadrant. Once the P.E.K.K.A. destroys all that section, you drop down the graveyard spells over the minion hut. You open up the wall, 2 barbarians to the multi-cannon, 2 barbarians to the hidden Tesla, and then you can take a 1 barb, 1 ram, take out the wizard tower and the air defense, and then 1 pack of minions will take out the giant cannon. Usually only like 1 or 2 minions actually get to the giant cannon, but it works out pretty good. The whole idea for using the graveyard spell on this one is that it distracts the minions, because these defenses are quite powerful if they lock onto a high hit point unit. They will just shred their hit points like crazy. And then we bring in 6 packs of Hog Riders, because the Hog Riders are really good at picking off like a couple defenses here and there. And then if you have the rocket artillery distracted, you can sneak in some Hog Riders, take that section of the base out. Yet the name of the game for this one is to keep the P.E.K.K.A. alive as long as possible. So here we can see the P.E.K.K.A's half health up north. And very, very quickly, once that defense locks on, just kills off the P.E.K.K.A. 1 more Hog Rider. They're able to get the cannon, not quite much more. So we got 5,990 from 1 attack, which is pretty good. Here we are looking up a cleanup attack on a Golem Quarry. We're using a mixture, a variety of things. So here we drop our spare graveyard spell over the rock artillery. Then we drop in what I like to use for this right-hand side of the basic layout is 1 pack of Larry Barrels, 1 giant, and 1, whatchamacallit, the cannon carts, and then 1 hog rider. And what that does is the skeletons from the barrels, they tank the front end. The cannon carts help speed things along. The giant helps soak up some damage, and then you can use the hogs on the multi-cannon if it gets close to locking onto a cannon cart. So use them to stun. Otherwise, you just throw them in wherever. And those few troops will clear that right-hand side of the base. Always good to use a P.E.K.K.A. for the middle of the base. P.E.K.K.A. has a lot of hit points, a lot of damage. And you might have seen at the beginning of the raid, we zapped down the air targeting defenses in this quadrant. And then 1 minion pack will take out the rocket artillery in the dead zone, so it can't hit them. And just the minions alone, they'll clean up the entire left side of the base. So we even get a bonus 100 Capital Peak gold. Now this is actually one of the first times I'm showing a Dragon Cliffs nearly cleanup attack. Nearly. We'll see what happens. But we zap down the Super Dragon post so that it no longer guards it. It will be drawn to our troops. Drop down 1 of the Inferno Dragons. Drop down a second one. I always recommend bringing 1 Inferno Dragon per Super Dragon plus 1 or 2. Good, like unless you're really good at balancing the aggro and like what the Super Dragon is attacking, then you could bring 1 for each 1 Super Dragon you plan to take out. But I always bring an extra 1. So here the attack is going well, except I don't know why. I believe it was when it was later at night. I just felt like dropping a heal spell there. And I think I forgot that it was supposed to be for the second Inferno, because Hog Riders get blasted by the bomb tower. And then of course by the time they get to the second bomb tower, they all turn into bacon. Not that great. But still wanted to showcase the attack, because I like to show as many of the attacks as I can. You know, try to speed through the boring parts like the barbarians, taking out that last couple of trash buildings. So here we are trying to clean up a Wizard Valley. This one, the first attack did not go too well. Tried to do something a little bit different, so there are quite a few of defenses left. But I thought if I was able to wipe out the attack, or wipe out the base in a second attack, then that could be worth a lot of points. Typically, if you are pushing for points, I recommend not going anywhere near Wizard Valley. It is a terrible trap. The base is super weak, but it's not weak enough to actually be taken out like the majority on a first attack. Like unless they pack everything in the core and you literally have like perfect pathing, it is not going to work out. So here, all of our super wizards end up dying. Just the giants left. They pick up a couple more defenses, but we still get most of the loot, but just under 5,000. And last but not least, we are taking a look at Capital Peak. Variety of troops for different portions of the base. So we brought 1 pack of balloons to take out the rocket artillery in the dead zone. We brought a giant and a cannon cart for the left-hand side of the base. So we're trying to take out this air bombs as cheaply as possible. And then we have a couple of graveyard spells. We're gonna put those, one on the X-bow, or the blast bow, one near the rocket artillery, and then one on the air bombs. Dropped a couple on the right-hand side to take out the giant cannon. Definitely helped that there was a rage spell. And now we're just waiting to see how we can send in the remainder of the balloons to pick up as much value as possible. Unfortunately, we try to spam in the rest towards the end. Doesn't quite work out, but we still get almost 6,000 capital peak loot. So, hope this video was helpful for you. You know, not every attack was perfect, but still was able to get over 32,000 points. So, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And there'll be a couple more videos on the screen if you want to check them out. Thanks for watching. See ya.